Hi. One thing I've noticed with having a child and trying to find books for him to read, I realized that I really love children's literature. I always knew that I liked it. I studied children's lit in college. I took a class, but just with picking out books, I've really got to notice there's certain things that I look for when I look for books for my son, and one of those things I think is illustrations. Illustrations are really important to me, and I wanted to share a couple of books that I found that I think parents will enjoy as much as children. The first book is The Bear's Song, and it's by Benjamin Chaud. He is from the south of France. These books, there's a few of these books. They are about a little bear. Well, the two that I've read are about a little bear who wanders off and gets into some type of little adventure. In this book, the baby bear disappears until the father runs around Paris looking for baby bear. And the illustrations are gorgeous. Very, just so interesting. So much detail. I can spend so much time looking at the beautiful illustrations in this book. I really love it. Every person has a facial expression. You can look in the windows of the apartment buildings and see people engage in different activities. It's just really, just beautifully done. I love these illustrations. I got this one for him first, and then I found Little Bear's Big House. Little bear wanders off, finds a big beautiful red house, and goes on a little adventure. I guess I don't want to give away the story, but it's just, again, filled with beautiful illustrations. Really beautifully done. And I noticed in the back here, in addition to these two books, there's also The Bear's Sea Escape and The Bear's Surprise. So there are two other books to check out. I love this. It talks about a child's sense of wonder, getting into a little bit of trouble and finding his way home. It's just really, these are beautiful books. And I like that they're oversized, big books. Next, I have The Camping Trip by Jennifer K. Mann. This is a really beautiful book. It's about a little girl who lives with her father, and her aunt decides to take her on a camping trip. I believe she lives in Seattle. From the illustrations, I saw the space, I think it's called the Space Needle. No, not the Space Needle. Wait a second. Oh, it is a Space Needle. Yes, the Space Needle is in the back of one of the pictures. So it takes place in Seattle. It's a little girl who goes on a camping trip with her aunt and her cousin. And it's just, again, the illustrations are really wonderful and detailed. It's a big must for me. And I love these little things like this, where it's a list of everything she's going to need. So all of the items have a picture that match. It's a wonderful way to teach kids. It's a really sweet, cute little story about camping. It's beautifully illustrated. I love this book, The Camping Trip. They make s'mores. I forgot about that. They make s'mores in this book. And also at one point, it's really dark and the little girl has trouble sleeping, and so they go out and they stare at the stars. It's a very sweet book. Next up, and this is probably for maybe older children. I don't know, it's still a picture book, but it's Cross Sections Castle, Stephen Biesti's Cross Sections Castle. And 25 years, it's been out for 25 years. The first American edition says it was in 1994. So it's been out for a while. This book is great because it's again really detailed, and I think it's just so educational. It shows different parts of the castle, a cross section of the rooms, and so you can kind of look into them. And then over here, and here, things are explained. So, building the castle, the different things that went into building a castle, how dressing a knight, trades and skills, food and feasting, what's on the menu, what did they eat then, spices and herbs, table manners, all of this. This is just tapestries, kitchens, cutlery. It's so interesting learning how people lived during this time and how they functioned in a castle. Beautifully illustrated. The illustrations are so detailed. There's so much going on in each picture. You just really want to take time to sit and look and really examine all of the pictures. Beautifully illustrated book. I think the pictures are a little bit smaller. Maybe that's perfect for a child, but maybe it's a little bit too much detail for a small child. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed this book, and it's definitely worth looking at, I think. Cross Sections Castle. Beautifully, beautifully illustrated and so educational. If you're interested in castles and how people lived in castles, totally pick this up. And next, of course, Where's Waldo? I had to get this because I loved Where's Waldo. I think all of these books are for adults as well. Why do children get to have all the fun? This is so cool. All of the pictures are, again, so detailed and just beautifully done. Amazing. Getting to search for Waldo and looking at all these little scenes, taking it all in. Really, really, really gorgeous. Where's Waldo? At the museum. I love these books. Martin Handford, the deluxe edition. Where's Waldo? And the last book I'm going to show you is one that I found walking around. Little Kid, Big City, by Big City, New York, written by Beth Beckman and illustrated by Holley Maher. And this book is all about places in New York City. And with my being from New York City, I thought this was very interesting to pick up. I haven't been to some of these places lately, but it was really interesting seeing all the illustrations, and it just sort of revitalized my love of New York and made me want to get out and make sure that my son sees these places that I grew up going to. And it hits all the boroughs. There's Times Square, of course. Times Square. Beautiful illustrations. There's the New York Public Library, the main one in Manhattan, Chelsea Market, High Line, Little Italy, the Museum of Natural History, the George Washington Bridge, the Bronx Zoo, Fifth Avenue, of course, the Theater District. They even go to Corona Park in Queens. This is just Grand Central, of course. Just a really beautiful book showing all the different neighborhoods of New York and a family visiting these places. It's great even if you're from New York and just want to be reminded of the city that you live in. It's beautiful, and it makes me want to get out and see some more of these places, or see these places lately. Thank you. I hope that these suggestions help you find books for your child. Sometimes I wondered if the books that I picked were the correct level for my son, if I was doing the right thing, but I did some searches online and I found that, and I also knew this, that reading to your child helps them pick up the language. And I also read something that said the more you read to them when they're younger, the easier it will be for them to hold onto and pay attention to longer sentences as they get older. So reading to your children is very important and will help them out in the future. So it's a good thing. And I think with these books you can read things to them that I enjoy, and that's, so we're both getting something out of it. Thank you. I hope it was helpful. Bye.